Hello everyone, it's Andrea and welcome back to my channel. I am here with a project that I'm really excited to work on. We recently took a cruise and my husband and I were lucky enough to get a brunch reservation in the adults only restaurant on the Disney Fantasy. So it's called Palo. And anyway, we had the best food and just the nicest, quietest alone time without the kids. So I wanted to scrapbook it, and we had lots of really good courses, as you can see, everything from antipasto to dessert and everything in between. So I have a zillion photos of food and I wanted to capture this memory. So I thought a really good paper pack to go with my photos was this Let's Go Anywhere paper pack. And believe it or not, it's one of the only things that's still available over on my Close to My Heart website. So I thought it was a great product to actually put to use. And besides that, I just thought that the colors worked really well with my photos. They're kind of, the mood in there was a little bit dark and moody. It's supposed to be like Venice. And so I just love the combination. If you've not yet seen this paper pack, it's just got a lot of great travel stickers here, and then lots of really good patterns. And why am I saying really good patterns? There is no pink in here. We have gone through the ages of pink suitcases with Close to My Heart, or peach and light green, and you know what? That's just not travel. It works on girls trips, but not for general travel. So this is pretty cool. There is some paper here that looks kind of like a map. It's a nice green color. We've got this blue here. We've got this really, really thin lined plaid. We have this gray pattern here. It's got some airplanes and some of those locator dots, pins, I guess you call them. And then we've got a page here that's got all different colored passports. And then this one is just like a great travel paper too. I'm not going to use this side though. It's just got lots of luggage and stuff. And although I love the colors, it would work. It just was a little too busy for what I wanted. So I'm just going to stick to this passport side of the paper. Again, this is still available over on my website. You know what else is still available? Our Make It From Your Heart Volume 6. And I think this is under $6 right now. And it has just a bounty of patterns, as you'll see here. It's got 1-page layouts, 2-page layouts. It has card designs, slimlines, and regulars. And so I love this because it gives you the pattern, it gives you the cutting guide, and it gives you a few examples here. So the way that this pattern is set up, you might notice it's set up to look like this particular layout here. This artwork represents the way that this is. Now, what they did was they just rotated it 2 clicks, and they also changed it up to look like this. Well, I wasn't happy with either of those. I prefer my title over on the left-hand side. So all that I'm going to do is basically mirror image it. So I'm flipping everything over. I've made all the cuts just as they said. And then the only thing that I did different is I think I'm going to need to rearrange some of the paper because I didn't like the lightest paper down here on the bottom. I definitely wanted to put that up a little bit and make a more solid color down here. So once I cut it, I had a little bit of regret, but I'm just going to slide those pieces around and you'll never notice. Additionally, instead of using 3x3 photos, I'm going to use 3x4 photos. And I think that's just going to work a lot better for the photos that I have. I couldn't crop them into a square shape. Lots of food photos. But I loved it because there were 2 portrait, 1 landscape photo, and that worked perfectly for the big photos that I wanted to capture here in this layout. So I'm just going to take this and set this up here on my little shelf out of our way so that this way I can refer to it, but it's not going to be in the screen. The first thing that I want to do is just give this paper just a little bit of a background treatment here. So I'm just going to gather up all my photos. Just want to get those clear out of the way. I don't want them to get splattered at all because I'm just going to do a tiny bit of splattering. So the parts that are going to show most are right over here. And then just maybe a little bit in the areas up in here. You could definitely do like a stenciling technique, something like that. But I just wanted a little bit of color. So I just thought the shimmer brushes were the best bet. So when you have a shimmer brush, this one's kind of old, making sure it's on. Just pull that cap straight off. I'm just going to lay down the tiniest little puddle, and I'm going to do that up here out of the way. So I'm just giving the barrel just a little squeeze because I just want a little puddle of this glitter up here in the corner. There we go. You might not be able to see it. We might not be on camera. But anyway, I just want to flick this just a bit. Just want a little texture over here. I'm going to do the same to this page up at the top. It's okay if it gets up here just a bit too. And just a little bit down here at the bottom of the page. That's it. That's enough. And then I also have a darker one. This is like an espresso color, maybe a little charcoaly. In any case, I'm just going to put a little bit here. It does look like it's an espresso color to me. So I'm just going to give this just a little bit. These are a little bit thinner, these dots, and I like that. Like I said, I don't want a lot of texture that's going to look like it stands out too much. I just need a little bit of something on this page so it's not so stark. So I'm just going to get those cleaned up here, just with a little paper towel on my glass board, and we are ready to begin. So I'm going to work with, let's work with where we're going to put down our bigger strips. So we're going to work with what is becoming my right hand page. That would be this left hand page, but we're going to start from the center out. So we're just going to pretend this is mirrored. So the first thing I want to do is find all of my little strips that I cut, and I've got a good little pile here. The first thing that I want to do is just start on the bottom of this page. So let me make sure I'm in view. I'm just going to line it up with one of my lines here on my glass board, and it's telling me on the instructions to go up 3/4 of an inch. Let's just get these big pieces here, and we're going to lay these out. I cut the passports. I definitely wanted those to be my very top. And I had thought initially I was going to cut this lightest color like the pattern suggests to have down here, because I thought that my photos wouldn't really get so lost in that, but it was just too light down at the bottom. So I think that this might be the best arrangement for me. So it tells you how to cut these. They go from, I think, 2 inches to 2 1/4 to 2 1/2 to 2 3/4 inches. That's what those stripes feel like to me, these pieces of paper. I'm going to just put the blue down. No, the blue isn't going to work on the bottom. I'm going to have to put the green on the bottom. And I say that because I have those little photos that are going to go down here. So I needed a strip that was, you know, at least 2 1/2 inches wide. We're going to put that green strip followed by the blue, the plaid, and there you go. Let me just get some adhesive down here. I could always flip these too if I wanted blue on the bottom, because honestly, the blue and the green are the reverse side of each other. Let me line this up, and I'm going to just go to 3/4 of an inch up from the bottom. If you can run strips across a page, you can create this layout. It is so super simple with this pattern book. That's looking pretty good. The next thing that I need to do is just to find something to put across the top here. So I had a couple options. I could put a zip strip, or there were these scalloped stickers. So I think we're going to use the scalloped stickers, and we're going to run that across the top. Now you're supposed to have a 3/4 of an inch tall piece of paper up here, but this sticker sheet, this sticker strip is it's bigger than 1/2 inch, but it's definitely smaller than 3/4, but it's still going to work. I'm just going to give that a little trim. And then there was a piece that was to go over here that was supposed to be it was going to be a 1/2 inch wide. So I have cut that, and you can see now that I have just a tiny bit up here extra beyond the scallop, because it was supposed to, you know, accommodate that 3/4 of an inch strip at the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start this down on the bottom. It'll be even with the bottom of these strips. And when I run it up, it's okay that it's just a little bit past. I like having that full little tag up there, you know, the little location dot. So let me just move that in just a touch. There we go. So I'm really happy with that. I think it looks really good. Now I could actually put my photos right on here. We're going to get those situated onto our layout as well. Now it says that these photos should go 2 1/4 inches down from the top. And it doesn't quite give, it gives me a measurement in from this edge. So, you know, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go about 2 1/4 down from the top. We're going to see where we land. I want to put a little more tape on here. Just trying to make sure this is in on the screen for you. So there we go. So we need to go 2 1/4 inches down. So 1, 2 1/4 is going to be about here. And there might be a little bit more room over here that they left. So I'll just give this a little bit more. And then I'm going to just put this one right next to it. And you might be noticing, I don't know how good your eyes are. You might see it on, you know, one of my other photos here. But we were there and we had the nicest waitress. And I didn't know this, but her husband was also waiting tables that day. And they met in the restaurant that my husband and I dined in. They'd been married for just a year, and we got to speaking that we were going to be married this year 30 years. So they brought us out a little anniversary platter ahead of time. They were just the sweetest couple. We've got our 2 big focal photos here, and now underneath we're supposed to have some little tiny 2 by 2 photos. So I have 2 by 2 photos of the food printed out and ready to go. And I decided instead of just having 3 of those across, I really needed the space. I needed to have 4 across. Now, I'm also probably going to add a flip flap at a later point in time because I definitely have more food photos that I want to include. But I'm just going to start these. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to start from the middle here. I'm going to center these from top to bottom within the green. I don't know if that's what they've done. I don't think that's what they've done here on our instructions, but these kinds of sketches are a guide. So use your discretion. You know what? If you want to go right in the middle, you can definitely make it your own. This one will be in line with this photo here. And then I'm just going to put the last photo down. I think all in all, I have 6 little photos of food. I printed them all in one print using the Project Life app, and then I printed it on my Epson Eco Tank. We've got all 4 photos there. And then I'm going to just go ahead and look at the other side, because for right now, this layout is pretty well done. All that we're going to need is some embellishment. So I'm going to bring in our other side. I'm going to shift our book out of the way because I think it's going to be best for us at this point in time to just line these up next to each other like so. And I'm going to pull in the other pieces here. This is definitely not one of them. This was a little leftover strip. Now, I did make a little change here. I decided that since I was going with 3 by 4 photos here instead of 3 by 3, I needed to make this a little bit longer. So I just accommodated that. I gave it a little bit more width here. And I still have plenty of room over on the left-hand side of this page to put my other big photo. So you can make those kind of adjustments too when you're working with a sketch. I also want to mention, as you're looking at that passport paper on the top, I actually cut 2 sheets at once. I cut both of my sheets in the paper pack all at one time because I wanted my passports to run in a line. And if I made one cut at 2 inches high and the next one at 2 inches high, I probably would not have had a pattern that went across my page consistently. And it was important to me that all of my passport pieces were in a line so that they all lined up. You can see, like, I didn't want those to be crooked. So that's something to make note of. If you ever want things to go seamlessly from one to the other, you can do so by just cutting into both pieces of paper at once, and then you're definitely going to have the right height. Okay, so I'm just going to push this up just a tiny bit. Feel like we're a little crooked here, and I can use this grid to kind of make sure we're straight. And then we just need a little piece of that sticker. I'm going to peel off the other sticker here. We're going to line this up with the left-hand edge. I'm going to lay this right across the top here. And then I'm going to give this a little trim. And then I'm going to save that sticker because you never know what you might need it for again. Okay, so now we have our patterns patterned paper running right across. I have the 3x4 photos. Again, I'm going to put some into flip flaps. You're going to see here. These I'm not going to attach until the end. So you might see some of the photos might not be my favorites, but that are showing here, but that's because they're going to be on the bottom. This one's definitely one of my favorites. I just absolutely love the way that this little cake looks. So this is one that has to be like front and center in my opinion. Now, I'm going to look at the photo, and it says that I should be putting these up pretty high to get all 3 photos in. So I'm going to just center them left to right within the space that I've provided for myself. I am going to go ahead and put one down at the bottom down here. And then that will allow me the ability to just kind of space them equally in the middle. I have matted all of the smaller photos. I have given myself, well, actually, I'm not getting much of a space here. We're just bumping right into the next photo, which is absolutely okay with me. Let me just straighten that out. They might have trimmed their photos down a little bit. I just decided to keep the photos 3x4 and to use a mat that had an 1/8 of an inch border all around it. So that is up to you. I'm sorry, a 1/16 of an inch. So an 1/8 of an inch. I cut it 3 1/8 tall by 4 1/8 wide, which gave me a 1/16 of an inch border. These I did with a 1/4 of an inch, which gave me an 1/8 of an inch border. Okay, we've got that. Next, I have this photo here. And there was definitely supposed to be some room between these two. So I'm just going to center that. I know I lost about 1/2 an inch by making this a little bit wider. I'm going to center this from left to right too. And I'm just trying to keep it kind of centered with this center photo. I think that'll give me some continuity, you know, make some sense of it. Sometimes I like the photos varying heights. Other times, you know, it makes sense to like kind of ground 2 pieces together. Now it's really just time to embellish. This layout came together so quickly with the aid of this sketch. So I'm just looking at the titles that I have here, and I definitely love this. I love Travel With Me. I love Collect Memories. I think that that one might be nice. So let me just take this off because I think that this is going to become my title, and I think I might want to, I'm going to put it up here. This is going to need some foam tape though, without a doubt. This needs foam tape. And, you know, you need to mention different heights, and this will definitely give it to us. So I have my little anti-static pouch. We're going to turn this sticker into just a chipboard accent by patting it here. We're going to take the stickiness off. I'm just going to run some strips. I don't feel like I have to, you know, worry about covering the entire sticker here because it's no longer sticky. So I'm going to peel off just part of this foam tape backing. And I think I'm going to put this right about here. Let's see. I might move this over eventually, but I'm going to see how I can tuck some little items in here. We can have some journaling down here. I think that'll be nice. I also just wanted to see what else there is here. I think this compass is definitely something that has to go on here because obviously we're out at sea. We need a compass. I just need to leave enough room if I have flip flaps in this area eventually. I think making a little cluster up here would be fun. So I'm going to just lay this one down flat. Our title will build on top of it. I feel like we need more color. We need more something up here. So I'm just looking through the stickers to see what would provide what we need. And I kind of feel like we need something. We've got the green, we've got the red, maybe something blue would balance it. There is this love this tag. So let's see. We've got love this and we've got an arrow. We could also just put an arrow up here. Let's see how this feels. We'll put that up in here. I just want to balance the colors that we have. I just feel like we need something up there. Like I said, maybe something down here. And we will certainly do some journaling down in this area. Need to make sure that points north. And then let's see what else. I think maybe, let's see. Let's go anywhere. So we're starting to see two of our clusters appear, one here, one here. And then I think we're going to need one up in this area up here on this particular page. So let's go ahead. We're going to put that up here. I think that would be cute. I'm running out of our little foam tape, so I do have a baggie here. I'm going to bring in, and this has some remnants from our old shaker circle pieces. So we'll give those a go. Let's get that up into this corner, this area right about here. Perfect. It's just overlapping the photo just a tiny bit. I like that. And then I think we just need a few more things. I think we need something up here that has a little pop of color. Maybe we can just slide this right here. Feel like we needed something here to kind of ground that sticker. How about this? Away we go. I think we can put that right there. Just building a little cluster. And then, you know what? I think we're good for now with these. I kind of like it. I think maybe. Let's just put that little heart. Let's pop this one up too. Maybe like that. Okay, so I'm liking the way that the layout came together. It was quick. It was easy. Definitely need some journaling down here, like I said. Now, I just did some stash diving. I've got some pearls here. I wasn't sure how they would work. I'm just going to pull those out. They're just gold pearls. And I thought that they were rich and kind of felt like, you know, the experience we had in Palo. I'm not sure if they're going to work. I brought in some more industrial. These are Durables triangles. These are ancient. We're diving way back now into the stash. And they came in two colors. But I kind of like this rich brass feel because I kind of feel like it matches as well. But I've just never used these. I don't know. Like, how would you use these? It might be fun. Let's see what it feels like if we put one down. So I'll start with a bigger one here. Maybe I'll put one right there. And then there's like smaller ones too. So let's take off a couple smaller ones. I even always try to put my embellishments into, you know, triangle shaped clusters. So, gosh, I've saved these. I don't know. I must have had these over 10 years, if not longer. And I kind of feel that that's pretty good there. I feel like we'd need a couple down here as well. And that'll allow us someplace to journal here. I think it needed this. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? And then we just need one more little cluster up in here. What do you guys think? I'm going to include flip-flaps in my final product. But for now, you get the idea. And wasn't that quick and easy, this layout? I just think it's amazing how quickly it came together. I love this paper. I love that it doesn't take away from the photos by the way that we've done it. I think if we had put that bolder patterned paper with the passports and the suitcases and the hats, I think that just would have really, it would have been too much. It would have been competing against all these photos. So that's why I'm glad we stuck with the more subtle paper palette here. But yeah, go ahead over to my website if you haven't done so. It's still going to be available to you for a few more days. You know, I switch over to Stampin' Up! As of May 1st, but you can shop with me at andreasherman.closetomyheart.com. Until then, grab yourself this Let's Go Anywhere paper and sticker pack. I think it's just adorable. I think you'll find lots of uses for it. In fact, I think I'm going to try to pick up a couple more packs because this paper is just so great. I think we could do, you know, the entire cruise album with it. And that Make It From Your Heart. There's volume 6 out there that we just used. There's also volume 3. They're both about $6. They're marked down from like almost 20 or so. Grab those because they will become a valuable resource. If you love sketchbooks like that, the creative design team, we also have sketchbooks of our own, and you can find that on cdtcreatives.com. I'll put all those links down below in this video's description. I put just a few more details onto the layout that I wanted to share with you. Now, the first thing that I did was I felt like I just needed a few more items. There was too much negative space. So I went ahead and I brought in a few of our stamped images from our January 2024 stamp of the month. I decided, at first I was thinking about using this little notepad for my journaling, and that's how it started this way. I thought to bring this one out, but I really ended up liking some of the sentiments on here, and they filled my space really well. So let's take a look. I decided that first I started with the word adventures, and I just loved that little banner. It filled up the space next to my journaling. I needed something, and I was really anticipating doing some little journaling strips. I always write on pieces of cardstock. It's one of my things that I do because I don't trust my own handwriting, but it just stood out too much. So I decided to just write, be brave. I drew some lines and I wrote right on the layout, which is a really scary thing to do, but I figured I could always cover it up with another piece of cardstock if it didn't work out for me. So that's how these two things came to be. And then I loved the little swirly design up here. There was a Let's Go Anywhere stamp set. I ordered it ages ago, and just like you, I'm waiting for it to arrive. So I used what I had. I loved that little swirly thing that was in that stamp set, and I decided to go with one that was similar. That's what I love about stash diving. You always find something. Over here, I added another little one of those little curly arrows. And then I added the long stamp that said new moments, new memories, new adventures. I just felt like it gave a finishing touch up here, just a little something to add a little bit of interest. And I could pull it off on this page on this side because there was the photos up here. So I felt like it was a good way to move your eye across the page. All in all, I love how this came together, and you can go ahead and get yours over on my website if you'd like to do so. This is available now. I don't know how long it will be available, but you can grab the paper and that idea book, the Make It From Your Heart Volume 6, Volume 3, whichever one you prefer. And yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed your time here at my channel today, putting this together with me. See, beautiful layouts don't have to be difficult, and starting with the pattern, starting with a sketch is always one really good way to create. Thanks for watching. I hope you had as much fun watching along with me as I did creating this layout. If you have not yet become my subscriber, please hit that button that you see right there. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and leave me a comment or if you have any questions. Thanks for watching and have a creative day.